Hi guys, welcome to this video. Today we're going to be watching the Starfield gameplay demo that was released a few weeks ago. Was it a week ago? One or two, quite a few days ago. So anyway, I watched the Xbox showcase with it, and after we saw some news articles come out, I wanted to go back, watch it, and give you guys my thoughts on it. Yeah, so we're gonna start the video. This is just after Todd came on and was talking. So I believe this is on the moon Crete. So the game looks really nice. It looks better than Fallout 4 in the distance. Fallout 4 and a lot of the like Skyrim games, they didn't look good when you started to look off, but those were quite old now. So the fact that this has made an improvement in the view distance. I saw the who was it? I saw Digital Foundry did a video and they explain it's because they have more shadows and details in the background. And yeah, it does look a lot better. A lot better. Yeah, the robot is definitely Fallout 4. That's definitely from the Animatron DLC. Environments look good here. A lot of Fallout 4 design, as you could see, because that looks like a rad scorpion. So let's just talk about this. This is going to be the first controversial point I think a lot of people had with the game, which is the fact that you have to mine your materials or whatever. This is actually not a new mechanic because this was in Skyrim. If you remember, you had to get a pickaxe, and then you went and you got gold ore, and then you smelt the ore into ignite, and then you take the ignite and you forge stuff. So this is actually not a new mechanic. I see a lot of people complaining, oh, this is trash, and this is actually commonplace for a lot of Skyrim since Skyrim. So I don't actually think there's an issue, and given that this game will have survival and extensive crafting elements, being able to harvest material is not a bad thing. So I don't like this. I find this spaceship should have been able to stand out more. I guess the, maybe it's because of the lighting or how the place is set up, but I don't like how this looks. It was very inconspicuous. Kind of hard to notice without the UI highlighting it. Gun models look nice. So the interior here looks actually really good. I do like how the floors and the lighting looks. It looks kind of inspired by the Doom 2016 and the Doom Eternal because of how the reflective the surfaces look, but it looks good. I like it. So the gun models would look a lot better compared than Fallout 4. Not all the gun models in Fallout 4 look good. A lot of them look bad. But these gun models look nice. I don't like how he reacted when he fell, but I'm not too concerned by that because it's an RPG. So the frame rate there wasn't great, but I saw it on a lot of different sources online. The frame rate there was kind of bad, but here's the issue. This is pre-release, so we don't know how much they'll improve the frame rate. That's a bit concerning though. The hacking minigame doesn't look bad. Doesn't look frustrating. So obviously this gun here, as you could see, is the Fallout 4 model. This is the las gun, or the laser rifle. The laser rifle, it looks very similar to what the Institute uses in Fallout 4. It's just black and gold, where there was a kind of plastic white with red. This looks pretty nice. I actually do like this model compared to the Fallout 4 model. It looks a lot better. Now that's actually pretty cool. The fact that we could shoot his jetpack and make it explode, that does show you have different weak points on the enemy you could hit. So that's actually really, really nice. And this is actually a pretty nice also thing here. The fact that we didn't see a grappling hook or anything, but the fact that you have a jetpack, like how in Fallout 4 you could put a jetpack on your power armor and then hop around and fly, this actually makes traversing the environment a lot better, because I know everybody makes this joke that you have to add a grappling hook to a lot of video games, but it does make traversal more fun and getting to secrets and higher places better.
After some initial encounters...
Alright, we don't need to hear your lies, Dad. Rewind it back a little bit. Alright. So the spaceship looks good. So this is New Atlantis. The scenery looks nice. Environments looks nice. NPCs, that's good. It looks kind of sparse with the amount of NPCs in the city, but that could be improved. And to make a comment about that, like just looking at some of the NPC counts, the thing about NPCs in Skyrim is something to do with the script. I believe they said in Skyrim it was the limitation of the scripting system that they couldn't add more NPCs, and that's why we never were able to see a really full-fledged civil battle. But I saw people making comments on different videos saying they were able to push it even further for the Anniversary Edition and Fallout 4. So maybe the NPC count in this game is going to be higher. So we'll see.
Welcome to Constellation.
Her face doesn't look horrible.
We're all here because we're committed to the biggest question of all.
They don't have Oblivion faces, which is kind of like one of the things you always worry about in a Bethesda game. You always worry they're gonna create some horrible looking monstrous face, and the face looks acceptable.
You You'll be part of solving that puzzle now.
She doesn't look bad.
So, you found something?
The new guy found it.
You dug up the artifact, right? That means you saw it. The visions?
The artifact you found appears to be one of many, scattered across the galaxy. If we can find more, we can unlock their secrets.
Beautiful, isn't it? The man who sold me this told me that it spoke to him.
He does look bad.
The settled systems is full of groups with...
You know, looking at this shot here, we do see a lot more NPCs and characters and things going on. So this does give me hope that not every city is going to be completely dead out and drab looking. This actually looks nice.
Settled systems is full of groups with other priorities.
That's the Crimson Fleet! Everybody get ready!
The fleet doesn't follow the rules. Agree to work for UCC Steph. Together, we take.
This dude does not look good. His face looks unnatural. It just looks weird. It doesn't look good.
For UCC Steph. Together, we take down these cutthroat pirates.
We're not just here to shoot the bad guys. We're peacekeepers. We protect the people of the Free Star Collective. When you sign up with the Crimson Fleet, no one quits. The only way out is death.
The path ahead may be dangerous.
So the fact that you could choose different factions is really nice, because faction choices has always been really important ever since Fallout 1 and 2. Who you're going to side with, what you're going to do, how you complete your end game. So the fact that they are making it clear that there are different factions in the game is nice.
But we are not stopping,
Most Dusties don't even make it this far.
because whatever lies at the end of this road will change humanity.
I like the diversity in animals. The space creatures look good. They look really nice.
That gives you a look at the stories and how you look.
So this is the character creation. I like it. I like it much more than what we used to get. So for those of you who don't maybe know or remember, in Fallout 1 and 2, before you start the game, you basically got to create your character, assign your stats and everything, and you got a full-fledged character creation in Fallout 1 and 2. In Fallout 3, you had to play from a baby, so you do the little part with Liam Neeson, and you create your character, then you go in with the baby book, and you did your special stats, and then you had to play through this whole tutorial, and then you exit the vault, and just before you exit, you were allowed to edit your character. So that was basically like the character. So you play a tutorial, then you get the character screen. And this was the same thing in Oblivion, and the same thing basically in Skyrim. And Skyrim was exceptionally bad because it didn't really tell you what your choices were. You didn't know the benefits of being a Breton or a Argonian or a Ultima. You didn't really got to see those stats. And the fact that you have a unified screen is kind of good. I hope this is given to the character like at the start of the game.
You'll pick a background that gives you 3 starting skills.
This is actually nice because the fact that we have starting skills that differentiate our characters is good. Laser weapons do 10% more damage. Medpacks heal 10% more, so that means you could customize to your playstyle if you want to do laser weapons or ballistic weapons or explosives. That's good.
Says here you spend some time as a diplomat. Having a way with words might prove useful.
This is also good that they are reacting to your choices. So if you have a diplomat stat, you could maybe talk your way out.
There are optional traits, and these come with unique advantages and disadvantages.
This is an old school mechanic going back since Fallout 1. This is just like when you had like small frame in Fallout 1. You got +1 agility, but the downside was you had less carry weight. So this is actually good because this means you could hone into that playstyle and you could mid-max. So these are really good CRPG elements being implemented into this game.
But it's not just in how you can look, but in how your character plays and develops. The skill system combines the best from our previous games, and you can unlock new skills as you level up, and then you...
So we have skill trees. So we have physical, social, combat, science, and tech. That's good. So that means you really do have different playstyles in the game, different abilities. This means you could be heavy in combat, but at the same time maybe have some intimidation and persuasion to get your way out. This is good.
Those skills up by using them and completing challenges. And there's deep crafting systems, from running research projects with resources you find to crafting weapon mods and needed.
So you see, this is why I just said in the earlier part of the video where crafting, if there's a lot of crafting to be done, it makes sense where you could extricate minerals, ores, and these things, because if you have a lot of crafting, you may not be able to buy all the supplies you need. So if you want to craft maybe a super powerful gun, or maybe heavily invest into crafting to craft better weapons and armor earlier on, so you could be more powerful in combat, makes sense. Makes sense to have it. I like the show in different environments with different enemy types. That looks really good.
And you can build your own outposts. These
Nice.
act as a home away from home for survival and resource generation.
Good.
You choose where and how to build each one, and you can hire characters you meet to keep it up and
So you could hire characters you meet to keep it up and running. My big concern about that is we are going to have a Preston Garvey situation like in Fallout 4, where it's going to be another outpost needs our help. Some words you really just don't want to hear. You know, you just finish almost beating the game, reaching the end game, and our outpost needs your help. I don't want to hear, well, Space Station 101 needs our help for the 1000th time because space rad roaches are attacking them.
running. But that's not all. You can even build your own spaceships. You can choose crew members, and yes, you can completely customize the look and layout.
That's nice.
There's loads of different modules, ship manufacturers, and more. I have to say, it's
Modders are going to go completely insane with this game. I could already see it now. You're going to have the Normandy, Star Trek. You're going to have everything.
How the ship looks, it's how it performs, from engines to shields.
Space combat, no. I just skipped out that. I don't really care to hear what that has to say all the time. Space combat looks pretty standard affair. It's basically the dog fighting in space, zapping them with lasers, they're blowing up. I just hope the space around the planets aren't too empty, because I do like what we're seeing here, what we see at asteroid belts and stuff like that. I do want to see things like that. A space station, that's good. Having adventures on a space station would be nice. So overall, it looks quite good. It's looking really nice.
We can't wait for all of you to experience the game. And you can land in New Atlantis, but you can also land and explore anywhere on the planet. And it's not just this planet.
So let's talk about the big planet controversy that everybody has been making a horror about. Um, I'm not really against the planets. Um, I don't really care that much about there being thousands of planets. Un- Once the main story line is good and the planets that are in the main storylines are good and the side quests are okay to interact and there are some good unique planets. I don't really care about every single planet because to me all these other planets just look like resource points.
All
You
the
go to
forces
X planet to harvest minerals
comparing
or
the resources
ores
in
or
Spaceballs to gold
whatever your
mines in
spaceship
Wonderland.
needs.
And not just this system, but over 100 systems. Over 1,000 planets, all open for you to explore.
Don't care.
Can't wait to see what you find.
So just gonna pull that back. So just to cover that, I do like the biomes and planets they reveal, and I do like the fact that we're seeing forests, snow, valleys. We do see a lot of environments, tropical settings too. So yeah, now I've been reading up on some stuff for Starfield, checking out other gameplay trailers. One of the things I saw brought up was that the Starfield character, the protagonist, the one you will be creating, doesn't have a voice. And a lot of people wanted a voice character. I am not one of those people who wanted a voice character. I like that in Fallout 3, New Vegas, and games like that, we don't really have a voice character reading all his lines. I prefer having a dialogue tree and options, meaning I could see options 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and what my character is going to say and read it out. And I know some people are going to be like, no, I don't want to read and I wanted voice. I really didn't enjoy the voice acting in Fallout 4. I thought a lot of it was cringy. Like some of it was kind of funny, like when he said certain things, and I just didn't really enjoy it as much because I don't think that is as important in this game, and because this game is heavily in the RPG genre, I think a lot of RPG fans would prefer having a good dialogue system, meaning that we get options to see different things, maybe provoke a fight, step down a fight, persuade somebody to come on our side, you know, these kind of things, talk them down, versus having just one or two voice lines and it's not really fleshed out. So for me, the character in Starfield not speaking is not a big issue. The next thing is you cannot actively pilot your ships to the planet's surface because they're going to be loading screens. I grew up with loading screens, so I'm not really hateful of loading screens because I just accept them as a reality. But maybe that's just me. Now, speaking of that, I don't really think it's a good idea for there to be loading screens. And I know people don't like the No Man's Sky comparison, but it is true that No Man's Sky has a lot of seamless going from the surface of the planet to the outer world and then going into space. And that raises the question how No Man's Sky is going to do it with loading screens. The real issue about the loading screen is the length of the loading screen. Because if the loading screen is relatively quick, 2 to maybe 5, 6 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, I don't think that's really going to be game breaking or immersion breaking because usually that's not going to be bad. However, Fallout 4 had a notoriously bad loading screen. Some people measured it, and a lot of times you could see 60 seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes loading screens just going on a hard drive. But in 2022, we have access to SSD, solid state, NVMe's, M.2s on a lot of systems. So I want to see Bethesda make an actual effort to make that loading screen short. Because if the loading screen is short, then I don't think it's really going to be an issue. If it's a very long loading screen and it breaks up a lot of the gameplay, then it becomes an issue. So we're going to have to see how it is implemented. Overall, my thoughts on the Starfield official gameplay reveal, I thought it was good. I'm glad that we got to see the gameplay. I would give it like a 7 or 8 out of 10, somewhere in that range. I like the crafting elements. I like the crafting. I like the guns. I do like what I saw. My 3 biggest concerns is going to be the FPS, which is the frame rate and the frame times, because they have confirmed 4K 30, but I haven't heard anything about 120 FPS or 60 FPS mode, so I'm a bit worried about that. Bethesda has been notorious for capping their games at 30 FPS, and then you have to have modders fix that. So I really don't want to see a 30 FPS game. I would prefer 60, and I would love 120 FPS to at least be an option, because PC users will have access to high frame rate and VRR, G-Sync, and FreeSync. So yeah, that's going to be my big concern, is the FPS. I don't like all of the models on the faces and the lighting, but I guess that could be improved by the time release in 2023. And the loading times is going to be another issue, but I'm not against having loading screens. I'm just more concerned that it's going to be very long loading. Hopefully they take advantage of the SSD and minimize loading times. Alright, thanks for watching. If you have comments and you want to hear different viewpoints or my other concerns, or maybe you want to bring up some of your concerns in the comments, drop them down below, drop a like, and thanks for watching. Have a nice day.